Hey, Jeffrey in Burlington. This is See More Better here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and See More Better is what you're going to do after I cut Transitions Gray with Crizal Anti-Glare for your new RayBan 5154 color 2000, which is the classic shiny black and silver in the 51 eye size. So I'm going to take everything out of the original packaging as RayBan sends it to me. Of course, you got your RayBan hard shell, clamshell case, whatever you want to call it. Your RayBan cleaning cloth, and the star of the show, the main attraction, the RayBan. Of course, it comes with a little plastic sleeve on the temple to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping, and I'm going to put that on there when I ship to you because you're going to receive all the manufacturer's original packaging. But again, this is, hopefully, let me grab my little flashlight here, the RayBan 5154 color 2000 in the 51 eye size and a 21 bridge. When I say 51, it is, grab my PD, stick out my pocket, 51 millimeters from the edge of this lens to the edge of that one. Of course, 21 millimeters between the lenses. The DBL, distance between lenses. So I'm going to take out your original demo lenses, one of which says RayBan. I'm going to throw that in the case because, again, you're going to receive all the manufacturer's original packaging. And I'm going to take your frame, place it into the tracing element of my edger, and hit start. Everybody wants to know how the machine knows what shape lens to cut. This is why. That little stylus pops up and it goes around and traces the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left side. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and you will receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. Now, Jeffrey, you know you need prescription. Don't even try getting by without prescription in your lenses. So, in just a moment, the shape of the lens will pop up. That is it. Let me just pull it up a little bit better on the screen. And that green outline that you see is the shape of the lens, only magnified. It will minify it down to the size. Now you can see that green shape is the lens that we will be cutting. I'm going to magnify it while I work on it. We turn this over. That is no longer needed. Your pupillary distance for your right eye is 31, so the computer starts at 32.5. I'm going to tap the screen and then hit this minus button. It's going to go down in 0.5 increments till we get to 31. I want to raise the optical center height up to, let's go ahead and do about 23. There we go. So the blue cross is the geometric center of the frame. Your eye is just above that in inset. So just like the crosshairs of a scope, I measure vertically and horizontally, and we're going to get the crosshairs just perfect in front of your pupil, because most of this frame does sit below your eyes, so that's why I'm raising the optical center up. Now, I've got your prescription here. Let's go ahead and get your lenses dotted up. Let me grab your lenses. Of course, your right eye is minus 4 1/4, minus 50 at 20, minus 4 1/4, minus 50. Actually, you're the same in both eyes, except the axis. You're OU to the axis, which means the same in both eyes. So we're going to spin the axis wheel to 20. There's 20, exactly halfway between 10 and 30. And let's put the power, I'm going to zero this out, make sure everything is there. Put the power drum on minus 4 1/4, which is where we're at. I'm going to take the lens out of the protective sleeve. And of course, on top of that protective sleeve is a little laminate lens that's there to protect the surface of the lens while it's being shipped to me. Of course, I'm going to have yours wrapped up even nicer than a little piece of laminate, but I'm going to remove that. I'm going to go ahead and put your lens in over the, and we're going to find the spherical component, find the optical center of your lens. And then check your astigmatism correction, which I'll explain later. And I'll explain who on this planet might be susceptible to having astigmatism one day. So, I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses. Hopefully they show up. They do, but let me go ahead and darken them. Take my Crizal pen, because I am all things Essilor. Actually, hang on, let me check something here. Clean that off and we will start all over again. Let's see. I should be dead center. There we go. Check this, check that. Make sure we're going to get the 3 dots on there. Uno, dos, 25. Okay, I didn't know there was going to be so much math involved. I apologize. Math is not my strong suit. In fact, nothing is my strong suit. Okay, so let me go ahead and darken these. And this is the right lens. Let's now do the same thing for the left. -4 1/4, -50 at 10. Spin the axis wheel from 20 to 10. Can you see 10 in that little magnifying glass? Take the lens out of the protective sleeve. Pull the laminate off. Stick that there. Put the lens in, rotate into the spherical component of your prescription. The -4 1/4 comes into focus first. Check your astigmatism correction. And then we're going to put the 3 dots on. I'm trying to get the ink on there. Got some new equipment here, a new ink pad, and it just doesn't soak up as well as the old ones. Let me just make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. Okay. Double check everything. Put some dots on your lenses. There we go. That's getting better. I'm still going to darken that for you. We're going to put an L on here, which is Latin for not right. Now, if you missed any of that, let me recap. I tell you, I don't know why I like that bad joke so much, but I do. So, we're going to come down here. Oh, nope. We're going to miss something here. Got to come back over here to the blocker. We're going to put that on there. The reason why I put those 3 dots on there is that it tells me that everything is lined up the way it's supposed to be. So I'm going to place it on the platform. And now, as you know, I've got 2 double-sided adhesive stickers already applied to these blocks. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the paperweight to make the black side sticky. Now, on the back is a silver button that is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice today. The first time, it's going to attach itself to something magnetical there in the arm. And we're going to get everything lined up. 31 is your PD, 23 is the optical center height. Sorry, I'm just making sure that this is in focus. I can't see what you guys are seeing. And we're looking good. We got the 3 dots lined up on there perfectly. Hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. So we'll now do the same thing for the unright lens. Pull the paper away, make the black side sticky, throw that in the trash, line up the magnet, put that on there. Now your pupillary distance for your left eye, 31, is the same for the left as it was for the right, so that is mirrored. Same optical center height. We're going to get those 3 dots lined up perfectly, and then hit the button. Arm's going to come down and place the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what, I guess I can leave that there for now. This is what costs $40,000. I recommend everyone go out and buy their own. It weighs 200 pounds. Put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own lenses at home. You won't need this guy anymore to do it for you. So inside, this is the actual cutting wheel. It acts like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center with that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel on the lens, so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So now the magnet is going to do its job a second time. I'm going to press that on there. It's going to hold it in place into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck, even after all these years. So I'm going to pull this shape up onto the computer. That is what we'll be cutting. Do you recognize the block? Isn't that a good picture of it right there? Yeah, look at that. How pretty is that? So these are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex, I would select that, but these are polycarbonate, and I'll explain the benefits of that. I'm not going to polish the edge of your lens because it won't be seen in this frame. I'm not going to put a bevel on the front surface, the convex surface of the lens. I'm only going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. I'm going to hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape. Oop, I was going to grab the frame but didn't have enough time. Then the old carpenter saying, measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. Now the lens is about to drop down onto the cutting wheel. The light flickering in the background is actually water. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet. Water will spray onto the lens during the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle, but polycarbonate lenses cut dry. As I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. It has both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. And did I mention how tough and durable they are and impact resistant? Now, your lenses are also aspheric. Aspherically means not spherical. A spherical lens is round in each direction like a basketball. Your lenses, not only are they thinner and lighter, don't worry, this is the thickest part of the lens. Your lens is bowl shaped, thinner in the center, thicker at the edge. And so once you get to the edge of the lens, you will find a thicker point, but we won't have your lens that thick. We're using the thinner portion of the lens. But so they're thinner and lighter as well as being flatter to fit in today's flatter curvature frames. If you notice, your lens is still completely flat all the way around the edges. If I were to take it out now, it would stand up on the counter on its own, just like a nickel. Now you also have the Crizal anti-glare coating. I'll demonstrate the transitions in a little bit. But you have Crizal anti-glare. Anti-glare is 3 features in one. Let me grab a lens without it. It eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, overhead fluorescent lights and such. It's also a reflection-free lens. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses, they're looking at just your eyes. Now you can see this lens in my right hand that does not have that coating on there. You see much more reflections from the lights on this, so it makes for much better eye contact. Plus, if you take a picture, if someone else takes a picture with a picture of you, or if you take a selfie with the flash, you won't see the flash lit up in the lens, you'll see just your eyes. So it's a great cosmetic feature. Now so now it's getting the safety bevel, the bevel, the V-shaped bevel applied to the lens so it stays inside the frame. Now the third feature that I like about the anti-glare is that the machine that applies the anti-glare coating costs well over $1 million and takes over 24 hours to vaporize 7 different coatings onto your lens. So because of the time and the expense that it takes to apply the anti-glare coating, Crizal puts the industry's hardest scratch coating to protect your time and investment. So you see water has begun spraying onto the lens just to wash away any of the optical debris that can be left over as a residual from the cutting cycle. It also tells me it's in the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. Now there is you see that lever come out. At the end of that lever is a spinning wheel, something that you would find on a Dremel tool. That's what's applying, smoothing out any rough surfaces from the cutting cycle. It's known as the safety bevel. So should any of this lens touch your cheek, it'll be nice and smooth. So in just a moment, I will open this door with my mind. I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. It just takes a couple hours, but I can do it. I just got to keep staring at it. Alright, so I just want to dry the lens off, patting it dry. Now, of course, the water, ooh, I love this. The water did not wash away all the optical debris. What I'm peeling off is known as the Schwarf. I'll put that on the counter, run my thumbnail around to get the rest of it off. I love it when it comes off in one piece, almost like taking the lint out of the dryer, out of the lint trap. So once that is all off, I carefully make sure to remove that. And once it's all on the counter, I collect it very neatly into one pile, and then I wipe it on the floor. I love doing that. My wife hates it. God, I know she hates it. I know she wishes I wouldn't do that. But hey, you know, anytime the clown gets to laugh at work, it's a good day at work. So I'm going to use my Phillips head screwdriver. I'm going to lefty-loosey. Ooh, that's a good tight screw. And I'm going to loosen that up to where it comes away. I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to have it upside down so the screw is not tempted to come out and fall on the floor, because you don't pay me enough to get on my hands and knees and look for that screw, so I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to tuck the lens in at this spot. Make sure the screw is tightened back down. And then I'm going to alrighty tighty. And that's in there good. I can go ahead and start cutting the left lens. Let's go ahead and press that on there, flip that over to L, and then hit start. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by the same 2 white styluses, making sure the lens is large enough to fit. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the left side of the lens. And just like before, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. And with your prescription, you have very, very minimal edge thickness, so a great cosmetic look. That's part of the reason I only use the thinner and lighter lenses. Did I mention they're also virtually unbreakable and have both 100% UVA and UVB protection? So while the left lens is cutting, I'm going to go ahead and continue to work on the right. I'm going to pop that off. And now here's something new you haven't seen in a video. The sticker that I put on there. Another optical friend of mine posted a picture where they're taking all these and they're making a big ball. Now theirs was about this big. I'm just now getting started. So check back in my videos to see how large this gets. I will keep that right there. We can come back down here to the lensometer. My Marco 101 lensometer. Let me get my flashlight. Turn the axis wheel back to 20. Put it in above that dot right there. That is the optical center. And we are getting -4 1/4. One tick mark away from 4, headed towards 5. So we're at 4 1/4, 450, 475, 5. So I'm going to check your astigmatism correction, of which you have 2 steps. And we end up at 475, one tick mark away from 5. Now the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, starting at 0 and going up from there, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, and so on. You're at -4 1/4. So you're at 17 steps of far-sighted correction. You are very nearsighted. Without your glasses on, everything is much too large. So if you were to look at my arms, boom, boom, boom. These guns look big, but that's why there's a minus sign. Your lenses will minify down to the correct size. So when you put them on, it'll shrink it down to the little chicken wing that it really is. So once it's the correct size, you have 2 steps of astigmatism correction. Astigmatism is what makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. So it is the fine-tune knob. So you're going from 17 steps, adding that together being 19 steps. Now, once is the correct size, astigmatism, as I mentioned, is the fine-tune knob. We're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 20. A straight line is 0 to 90 to 180 and 270 for those of you keeping score at home. So we just turn that fine-tune knob to 20 to make everything nice and crisp. Now your left eye, you're actually rare. Your left eye is almost the same power as the left, but we're only going to turn that fine-tune knob to 10. So there's only 10 degrees difference, which is extremely rare. This number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. These first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. These are the powers and the corrections of your eyes. You have a far-sighted curve going this way on your eye, that's 4 1/4. You have a second curve, an astigmatic correction on your eye, and it's how we line up those curves. On your right eye, we line those curves up at 20 degrees. On the left eye, we correct them to 10 degrees. So, but the reason why we got to 475 on the lensometer is that, remember high school algebra, we add 2 like signs together? Yeah, don't worry, I've forgotten high school algebra too. But let's use today's terms. Someone had borrowed $4.25 from you, and then they borrowed another 50 cents. They would owe you $4.75. You are $4.75 in the red. So Jeffrey, the left lens is done. Let's go ahead. I want you to open the door with your mind. Jeffrey, well played, sir. Let's go ahead and dry everything off. And again, ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I love it when it comes off in one big piece like that. Can you guys see that against the dark brown? You see where it's falling? So again, collect it neatly into one pile and then wipe it on the floor. The reason why I do that is if someone comes over, it looks like I've been working. So kids, remember, I went to school for years to learn how to do this. So kids, if you grow up and want to make a mess, you gotta stay in school. So let's go ahead and do lefty-loosey on this side. Gonna loosen that up. I'm gonna set that down there. Pop the left lens in, making sure the screw doesn't fall out. We're going to tighten that screw back down. Righty-tighty. Ooh, look, we get to add to the collection. We're going to take this block off, pull the sticker off. Let me throw the empty block in there. Where should we do it? Where should we do it? Round and round it goes. I'm going to stick it right there. How's that? Again, stay tuned as this grows, as the world turns and as the sticky pad grows. So we're going to put it back over here. We're going to turn the fine-tune knob to 10. I'm going to flip that over to 10. Check the power. And we're getting -4 1/4. Check your astigmatism correction. End up again at -475. 4 1/4 plus 50, 475. And as I mentioned before, there's a chance you'll have astigmatism. Right now, close your eyes. Everyone who's watching. Did it get dark? Okay, there's a good chance you might get astigmatism one day. That's another thing. Are you sleepy when you wake up? Are you hungry right before you eat? Then in that case, there might be a chance you get astigmatism one day. So your pupillary distance in both eyes is 31 for your right, 31 for your left, for a total of 62. I'm going to turn the card around. When I pull my PD stick out of my pocket, I'm going to press the 0 against my thumb on your right lens, and when we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 62 millimeters. So that is cut perfectly. Let's go ahead and check the optical center height. What did I have that as? Let's pull that up. 23. I'm going to go ahead and measure. I'm getting 23 to the bottom of the frame there. Wow, I couldn't have done any better if I had done that myself. So let me go ahead and clean the lenses off. And as you know, who've watched my videos, in this portion as I clean the lens, I mentioned to everyone that when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. And when I say wobble, I'm part of that 80% myself. When I put mine on the counter, they wobble, but they sit level on me. So I'm wearing the RayBan 2132 New Wayfarer, color 789, which is the punchline to one of my favorite kids' jokes. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. So let me put mine back on so I can just see what I'm doing. The reason why I wear the blue-orange today, I'm wearing the blue-orange shirt and the blue-orange shoes, so I gots to be matching. So I'm going to flip that over, press down. There is no wobble. I close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. Now this is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to go ahead and clean them with the premium microfiber cleaning cloth that I will provide to you. So you're going to get your RayBan cleaning cloth. Let me get that tissue out of there. Always trying to be a star. So there's your RayBan cleaning cloth. Crizal gives you a cleaning cloth, and then the nicest one of them all is the one I'm providing you. I also will provide cleaning instructions on not only how to care for your frame and lenses so they last you for years, but also on how to clean your case and these cleaning cloths so these too will last you for years. So when you get these in the mail and you see a wrinkle in here, you know that it's been field tested. I test every cleaning cloth before I ship. Again, that's as bad as the cap on the pen joke, but hey, again, if the clown gets to laugh, then it's a good day at work. So this is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to go ahead and activate them. The transitions part of your lenses, I'm going to pop them into this little box, and as you can see, which just has a strong burst of UV light in it, as you can see, if I can turn it on, all transition lenses will turn dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks of exposure to the sun. They're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks until they get to their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful UV light, ultraviolet rays, so your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun, your upholstery doesn't rot. Now, if you have a convertible or motorcycle, they will darken, just not inside of a car. Now, they're also temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's 95 degrees outside or 100 degrees, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. So that's it. If anyone has any more questions, you can email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the contact me button on the website. Jeffrey in Burlington, I do appreciate you purchasing your RayBan. What did I do with my flashlight? My RayBan 5184 color 2000, the 51 eye size. I do want to take a minute to thank you, but you could have got these anywhere. These giant, large corporations that own well over 80% of all the optical shops out there, but you choose to get them from a local independent optical shop. Supporting local businesses is always important. It keeps the money here and lets you know that you have an alternative to the corporate box stores. So again, I want to thank you for that, and hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.